Hood, Outlaws and Legends is a PvPvE stealth game set in a slightly fantastical version of medieval England. It puts a grittier spin on the often romanticised tales of legendary do-gooder Robin Hood and his band of merry men. This is a property always ripe for interpretation, and which I will argue forever has never been done better than Mel Brooks' Men in Tights. Sorry, Costner. We've seen modernised versions, realistic versions, versions with adventure, tragedy and comedy. So how do Focus Home Interactive and Sumo Digital plan on etching their particular retelling in our minds? Well, first of all, by tying the legend to a 4v4 stealth game with a hint of Hunt Showdown to it. In Hood, Outlaws and Legends, you pick one of 4 characters to build a ragtag rabble of rambunctious ruffians ready to rob the rich and quite possibly give to the poor. At launch there's only the quartet of Robin, stealthy ranger, Marion, also stealthy hunter, brawler John, omitting the little part, who isn't really stealthy at all, and mystic Took, who is somewhat different to the lovable Friar Tuck usually present in the Legends, and who looks like he was possibly airdropped in from a different game altogether. With such a relatively small roster, you'll often see teams consisting of the same character more than once, so any hint of realism is out the window, as indeed is any story, for there is none. You simply assemble a team and go on heists, all of which have identical bones, upon which your style of play and teamwork, or lack thereof, will apply the flesh and blood. At present, I have reservations about the amount of content. While there are 6 different maps, the actual objectives don't change. Get in, pickpocket the key from the sheriff, a huge armour-plated nightmare that will kill you instantly if he catches you, and find a chest. The chest itself moves around each match, although there are multiple extraction points to take it to. Then, 1 or 2 of you will need to operate a winch to extract it to somewhere. I'm not sure where it goes or why it becomes your property and the game ends once you've winched it up, but the story here is something that would probably just get in the way. The twist is that the opposing team always have the same objectives as yours. Once one team gets the key, the objective switches to stealing it from the sheriff to stealing it from them, and the laborious walk to the extraction point with a fully laden chest is a tough stretch when the other team is pelting you with arrows and giant hammers. See, each character has their own skill set and abilities. Robin is a ranged combatant, though has unlockable perks to strengthen his melee capabilities a little bit, who can also flash bomb the enemy. Marianne can go all the way invisible for a short time, Took can highlight nearby enemies, and John can lift massive portcullis gates and explode heads like melons with his enormous mallet. Aside John, the melee element is a little bit underdeveloped, and frankly I've seen a few teams comprised of 2 Johns and 2 Mariannes that are nigh impossible to beat up close. Characters control well enough, but I found the default brightness to be far too dark. Anytime my internet faltered, I had players and NPCs behaving strangely, dying on their feet, swaying for the duration of the match, or teleporting all over the place. My biggest gripe right now though is that there's only one type of heist. While 2 fully coordinated communicating teams can enjoy a dynamic experience each time, if you're trying to play this with a silent group you may struggle to have much fun, and that's partly because opportunities to sabotage the other team seem a bit thin on the ground. I once spied an enemy Robin closing on the sheriff and shot the big guy in the back to make him turn and kill the other player. It felt incredibly cool at the time, but you can't block routes or set traps or anything like that really, and as a result most matches I've played have devolved into chaos once one team gets the chest. It stops being fun when you're just running in and slaughtering the other team before grabbing the chest and getting as far as you can before they respawn and do the same. And there's a huge argument for playing with people you know and really coordinating your attacks. If you don't have that option, the whole thing feels too messy to fully enjoy. Likewise, I rarely felt there was time to go off exploring to locate the hidden collectibles because my team always needed me to be on the ball regardless of which character I was playing. And yet, despite the overall lack of real variety, what's here does feel unique and atmospheric. It's a new take on a rarely tried formula, and if nothing else, sets a foundation for more game modes and more characters in the future. At present, only the unlockable items are there to keep you grinding. Most of these are purely cosmetic and, to be honest, result in more progression bars than it needs. Only the perks are tied to character development or build diversity. These allow for things like increased XP gains or more stamina for attack and defense, but with a hideout level, a character level and a player level all affecting different elements as well as collectible gold, there feels like there's just a bit too much going on. Hood, Outlaws and Legends then is a pretty good crack with a group you know, or people who know what they're doing, but a bunch of amateurs without a mic between them may struggle to have a good time. The character design, atmospheric, detailed locales and overall sense of urgency and teamwork make for an enjoyable, compelling experience, but right now the content available at launch feels a little bit undercooked, and for that reason I'm going to score Hood, Outlaws and Legends 7.5 out of 10. Right, Mick Fraser here, thanks for watching that review of Hood, Outlaws and Legends. Have you picked it up already? It's been out for a couple of days now. What do you enjoy it if you did pick it up? Is it your sort of thing? Do you agree, disagree? Let us know in the comments, but please, as always, try to be nice about it. If you did like the video, please consider hitting a like and subscribe. Maybe tag that bell icon too, so you're kept up to date with all the reviews, previews, whatever content we're posting on a given day. And if you want to support us via Patreon, you can go ahead and do that. We really appreciate everything that you guys do for us. In the meantime, I've been Mick Fraser for God is a Geek, and you guys have been with it. Bye.